Dirty Sports Podcast. I said, welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy Ruther and Joe Praino. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Los Angeles, California, Joey No Chill Praino.
Hello, Andy.
What's cracking?
Not a whole lot. It's the most Mondayest feeling Thursday of all time.
No worse day to have a holiday than Tuesday.
I mean, it worked out, in my opinion, it worked out very well. Like, you know, Monday is essentially a while. Like, I was surprised that some people worked on Monday.
I think most people did.
That felt very weird to me. Why wouldn't that be off? That seems like a no-brainer that you just get a 4-day weekend. Honestly, if you are in charge of any sort of employees or a company and you made your employees work on Monday, you trash.
Yeah, but hold on. Like who? I mean, who would get off is what I'm saying. Like, everybody I know had to work.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I get it if you're like, I don't know, fucking, you know, but like if you work for a marketing company, if you're a lawyer, if you're like,
okay,
what are we doing here?
Well, those could be a little different. I'm saying marketing and lawyers. I'm saying like the grocery store, restaurants.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, grocery stores are also open on 4th of July.
Like my girlfriend's a pharmacist. They're not going to close the pharmacy. I'm saying,
sure. But I think you should, like, if Christmas fell on a Tuesday, Monday'd be off.
Well, Christmas Eve is like a holiday too.
Sure. To me, it was like a no-brainer. And then obviously I ran into a Wednesday. Yesterday, I spent poolside at a hotel in a cabana here in LA. It was a birthday, so ended up being a 5-day. Like, I've got today, and then tomorrow, the weekend's already here. It's a beautiful thing. I think Tuesday is kind of the perfect day for a holiday, provided your boss isn't trash.
Well, I just like to say I am full dad mode on the fireworks now, as far as the days, as far as the times. I was getting really frustrated.
How does Roscoe handle the fireworks?
He hates it. What dog like every neighbor I saw yesterday, we're all laughing. Like, any neighbor I run into walking their dog, I'll be like, hey, how's your dog holding up? Oh, shitty. How's yours? Shitty. It's like,
I spent the 4th at Andy Laz's place, brought our dog over there to hang out with King. King was a mess. King was the big, like, it was like watching Arnold Schwarzenegger whimpering in the side of the room. Like, the biggest, scariest, fucking, his head weighs 30 pounds. Looks like he's a character in a movie about a dog that hunts people. He's just shivering in the corner, just like so afraid, panting to death. My dog completely couldn't give a fuck less about it. Just like, okay. Are those explosions? That's weird.
Roscoe stopped mid piss. Like, I've never seen that. He was outside
with a thing.
Yeah, just like midstream and bolted for the door. And I was like, and then this is gonna sound weird. I saw that and I couldn't stop thinking, like, how do you even do that? So then when I was peeing in the shower, I
tried to stop.
I was like, can I stop and then keep it stopped? No, I couldn't.
Yeah, do your Kegels, bro.
Was that like a dog power? I don't know. I just to stop and then keep it stopping anyway.
And now there's a lot of video coming out. I feel like this is the first year that it's become a very popular thing for the drone shows. And it's like, what are we even doing with fireworks anymore? These drones can make fucking pictures. The Dead show had a deadhead drone with fucking whatever. There's a I Love LA drone show. Like, what are we doing here? Fireworks, you canceled. Fireworks are Twitter. Drone shows are Threads. You're out.
I'm not. I'm still in.
Oh, motherfucker, you were the first one. I opened up Threads for the first time. It was there was already 3 Andy Ruther posts. This dude's playing Papa Shot on Threads. This dude's bumping into his Ring camera on Threads. This guy's got videos, pictures.
Well, yeah, I'm.
This dude I tried to check your number. Were you like, was it Zuck and then you? This dude was 2.
No, yeah, I signed up last night. Why not? I mean, look, I obviously delayed way long on TikTok, and now I'm ready. I basically took the last few years off of social media. Now I'm ready.
King of all social media is back, baby.
I'm just like, I'm curious how everything works out.
Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, the king of all social media will rise from the burning rubble that is Elon Musk's Twitter.
I think
he's returned. He's Batman, baby.
But I think that'll
the Dark Knight Rises.
I think that'll be fine too. I just think everything's going to have its own. Here's what's interesting. I was thinking about the other day. At this point, Facebook, they're kind of just thieves, to be honest. Like, Facebook was original. Then they saw Snapchat and were like, hey, let's do stories smartly through Instagram. And then they saw TikTok and they're like, oh shit, TikTok's crushing us. Let's do reels.
Yeah.
Now they're like, oh, we need something like.
Well, to be fair, it kind of comes full circle. I was never a big Facebook guy, but originally the Facebook was just the status message. And then it became you're posting long fucking things and pictures and videos, and everybody's put up their birthday and sharing their memes like it's fucking an old timey, email chain that your mom sent out once the moms got there. So essentially, Twitter was like, hey, what if it's just a short status thread again?
Yeah. I don't know.
We loved it.
I don't know. Like, I just, well, first of all, is anyone on Snapchat anymore? That's the one that I was thinking about.
Yes.
Who?
Younger people. People younger than us.
But I never hear the term. You hear Instagram famous or TikTok star.
It's not the same thing because it's not shareable and it's not. You don't see how many people follow somebody, so there's no like. But I still feel like you hear younger people like, "What's your Snap?" and shit like that.
My
but
girlfriend does it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get it. She does it, and her family will communicate, and they'll send snaps. And I'm like, I always don't get it. I'm like, what? Why don't you guys just do this on Instagram through stories?
Because it's private.
So that's kind of what Snapchat turned into.
I mean, it always kind of was. Basically, it's the dick pic app. It's like sending your private snap to somebody that no one else sees and no one else fucking whatever.
They're all the dick pic apps at this point.
Oh, have you already sent a dick thread, Andy?
No.
Okay, good.
I don't think I've ever sent a dick pic
via socials.
No, I have.
You have?
Oh yeah, for sure.
In DMs?
Yeah. No. Have I?
Wait, what? How would you have sent it?
Insta stories.
You put a dick pic on Insta stories?
Like a private DM story.
Yeah.
Like you could like sexting with somebody.
Yeah.
And they disappear. Now you get me thinking.
In a Twitter, you're saying in an Instagram DM.
Yeah. You know, I'm losing my mind. Like those disappear, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can save them. But you're having your Crystalia moment right now.
No, but I'm talking like 2018. I think that's technology changed. I think it used to disappear. You couldn't save them. Right?
Bro.
I don't know. I'm not stressing about it.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing crazy. Like, things happen, right? People sext. Like, I'm not DMing, like a Dalia thing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
there's a difference, like a relationship. Anyway, let's just go on to the next topic before I say something stupid that gets me canceled.
I think you're okay.
Yeah, I'm not too worried. I mean, I'm posting Papa Shot videos now, so.
Can I take a moment and just shout out everybody? Thank you all for the birthday wishes yesterday, and thank you guys on the Instagram, Twitter, all the posts, and obviously my favorite one that anybody ever sends me a message on. A special shout out to the Dirtballs that just send you Venmos with just like beer emojis, happy birthday cakes. It's like what a thing to just be sitting there and being like, I didn't even realize honestly till this morning. Like yesterday, you got your Facebooks and your Instagrams and your Twitters and whatever, and then this morning, I was like, oh my god, a bunch of dirtballs like Venmo'd me beer money. It's all like Happy Miller Lite Day. I'm like, I love this for us. Thank you guys.
Yeah, there's been a lot of chat for the 1000th. Seems like Vegas is kind of a consensus that people want.
It's easy for me. I love it.
Yeah,
there's a lot of talk of you getting married while you're there. Like,
well, that was a CT recommendation. He left a few calls there. I didn't grab any of them. I don't think he wants me to play them. He's pretty drunk, which whatever. I'm not gonna bust his balls about that.
4th of July.
Yeah, I'm not gonna kill him for that. But he was suggesting that I get married in Vegas during the 1000th episode or at that same time. Ironically, Brittany has never been to Las Vegas.
Wow.
So that kind of adds the allure of it.
Also, Brittany has never met any of us or any dirtballs, or possibly doesn't exist. So that would be a weird thing in Vegas. Like, Brittany's never been to Vegas because Brittany is just an avatar that you made to put on your YouTube TV to throw me and Justin off the scent.
Dude, that would be the ultimate. If she didn't exist and I'm like posing with this baby.
I think the baby exists. The question is just like, where'd this baby come from?
It's like Hangover.
Yeah.
Speaking of Vegas. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Maybe she doesn't.
Was there ever any discussion amongst your family or her families about your guys' lack of marital status and the presence of a baby?
I mean, of course, we've discussed marriage even before she got pregnant. Because, I'm not getting any younger. Yeah, there's been discussion, but not, like her family's chill. I had a side comment. It was more of a joke from one brother about living in sin. It was more of like just a joke. It wasn't, it wasn't anything serious. Yeah, like my aunt who was in the nunnery forever and left, she made a comment. Like you get, like that's my 75-year-old aunt. Like that's a little different. But no, I think everybody's chill. I actually was asked that yesterday. No, I would say there's a 99% chance we're getting married.
Okay.
Now, if that happens,
and a 1% chance that this whole thing blows up after you find out that Instagram DMs can be saved.
Well, I'd say there's a 1% chance we get married in Las Vegas.
Okay.
But like, you know how it is when you get to a certain age, because she's already said, I don't want like a big church wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. Like, I'm 41. I'll do her a solid. She's early 30s. It's like, I don't know. Like,
there's not a single person I know, not a single one, that isn't like some sort of ginormously wealthy. I know some ginormously wealthy people, but no one I know that isn't like a gross amount of rich doesn't wish that they didn't spend as much money on their wedding and just spent it on themselves. They're like, you realize we could have gone to fucking Europe for 6 months if we had just like got married in a courthouse. I'm like, yeah, you absolutely, like that's every woman ever Like it dawns on them like after the fact. They're like, oh my God, we could have bought a cruise ship. And it's
I
like,
know.
yeah, did you not understand the concept of money until a ring was on your finger? Like, no shit. We were trying to tell you that the whole time. Oh man, if I could do it all over, you could have done it all over. You're just dumb.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, look, there's something to like the whole fanfare. I think there is, but also it's just such a bad investment.
But even
Like
the fanfare, you can have all your friends be at something and it not caught. You don't have to rent the yacht club. You get an old timey 57 Chevrolet with just married on the back as a rental of 14 photographers there. Like when you guys get married in Vegas, we'll just have, we'll just fly Nick out. He'll take some pictures on his iPhone. You're getting an Uber that says just married at the end. Like, we're going to save you some money, dude.
No, I know. I'm saying I agree. It's I think you take the quote unquote romance out of I guess looking back on it. That's where, but I'm agreeing with you. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the other counter would say, like for me, especially my parents being gone, seeing their wedding album, and you're like, oh, that the wedding pictures, and there is some sort of nostalgia and romance to that. But at the same token, it's like, okay, cool. These are photos from 1971, way before I was born.
Yeah.
Like, it's not worth spending all that money just for somebody to look back on our stuff when we're dead. It's kind of the argument. Right?
It's like when you go to a fancy restaurant and you see the influencers there taking pictures and you're like, you spent all this money, fucking eat it.
Yeah. No, for sure. Well, speaking of influencers and marketing, it never ceases to amaze me. Kobe, who passed away, 3.5 years ago, is now going to be on the cover of NBA 2K for the 4th time. They are doing a NBA 2K24. They tweeted, sharing the Mamba mentality with the next generation, introducing our NBA 2K24 cover athlete Kobe. They have 2 editions. You can get the Kobe Bryant edition. That's where he's going to shoot 10 for 24.
Right.
Or you can get the Black Mamba edition where he'll shoot 8 for 24. His 2 numbers. Dude, it's truly amazing. Now you talked about this, or we've talked about this, like the marketing. I mean,
I get it. It's 24. So this is why, like, oh, let's make it Kobe. The other thing is, let's be honest. The Venn diagram of people who stupidly stan Kobe Bryant and say shit like Mamba mentality and quote unquote basketball fans that are obsessed with video games. That's a circle. That's the people. That's the people arguing on the internet that Kobe's like the GOAT. Is like people who've never watched a basketball game but play a lot of 2K.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. That's definitely the circle, but I'm telling you, it goes beyond that, is my point.
Of course. I mean, also just the marketing of it. Like, again, the 2 different editions and you pay this much more for the one and like the whatever. Like,
I don't know. It's just, I'm curious like what Vanessa Bryant, like what the family sees for that. Like, do you think Kobe still has a full team?
Oh yeah, 100%.
They have to, right?
Well, yeah, 100%.
Like there's a full marketing PR Kobe Bryant team.
Yeah, probably more than he had when he was there, because like somebody's probably in charge of making the decisions now.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And it's also probably through his agency. I'm sure the agent, manager, whatever, probably does works with other people. But
well, we've talked about it with music, right? When you pass early, it elevates your legacy, and it probably gets exaggerated, right? And I think that's what's going to happen here. Like, you almost can't contest his leg. You can, we will, but people don't want to stir up trouble because of also, not only did he die early, it was such a horrific accident, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you can't even question it, which is pretty crazy.
Which is why, like, listen, I leave all that shit out of it when it comes to, like, some people are always like, you know, not that we don't talk about, like, that he got charged with rape or whatever, but it's like, that's not like why I don't like Kobe Bryant. Like, that is what it is. Like, you can talk about, you know, the details of it. And I've talked to somebody who was like the DA or the assistant DA at the time about it. Like, I know a lot about that shit, but it's like, that has nothing to do with it. That's really not, that doesn't have anything to do with Kobe or Kobe's legacy to me or anything like that. The bottom line is just like, you know, in the grand scheme of like what player he was, like, how many times has Allen Iverson been on the cover? Like, the lunacy of people putting him in some sort of rarefied air with Michael Jordan and LeBron James, when really he should be in the Allen Iverson kind of conversation.
Well, you know, to go along with this, we have a call about somebody is going to bring a theory on the Jordan fandom.
Okay.
From an angle of something that kind of we discovered. You're gonna love us. This is connecting the Jordan fandom through Jameis 101.
Wow.
Nick from Iowa. Hey, there's been something I've been waiting for you guys to connect the dots on for a while. The Jameis 101 saga ended in somebody trying to make their merch worth a bunch of money. And I think a lot of the Jordan stands are Jordan shoe collectors. These people online that are defending him to the death. I think it's a financial motivation. They want their shoes to, their shoe collection to remain extremely valuable. Let me know what you guys think. Bye.
Calling from the lost submarine by the Titanic. What's going on with your service, bro?
Sounds like he was just in his car.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put that on Threads as a joke. Let's go. So there's definitely part of that. We'd agree.
Well, I think there's just some part of the, I think it almost goes hand in hand. It's like, I mean, if you watch Air, or if you know the story, or if you know just like about Nike marketing in general, and if you know about the decision to make him the face of the thing, it's like, I think that they go hand in hand. I think that you have people who were crazy Michael Jordan fans and therefore bought the shoes, and then you have people who got really into the shoes that became Michael Jordan fans, and vice versa. Like, I know a ton of people who are like the kind of guys who like golf in Jordans with like golf spikes on them and whatever. And then they're like, yeah, Jordan, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, is this like, I feel like they serve each other as opposed to like the idea that Air Jordans became what they were because Michael Jordan was such a great basketball player is ignoring just like obvious millions upon millions of dollars being spent to turn those into a cultural phenomenon at the time. I mean, I'd love to know how many of the stories of guy gets murdered for Jordans are real, you know? Like, I think that's all just to like elevate the, like, you need to have these, this justifies the price of them and all that stuff. And like, there's no doubt that Michael Jordan was once the greatest basketball player of all time, but these things all go hand in hand. Like, it was all a campaign. It was all a thing. It was all one marketing procedure to elevate Michael Jordan. And that is why, you know, I've joked about it before on this show, but like, our boy Sam Tripoli has 11 conspiracy podcasts, and then he goes on Punch Drunk and talks about Michael Jordan's greatness and ignores the fact that there was a blown conspiracy that the NBA was pushing the most marketable teams to the NBA finals. Like, the idea that the conspiracy nut doesn't think that there's any conspiracy about the Jordan Bulls winning a bunch of championships in a row, and JoJo English coming off the bench and like sucker punching guys in the face, and the star of the other team, you know, the starting point guard of the other team getting suspended, all the things that we can look at. And so it was all one thing. It was just like all one campaign in the 1990s to elevate an athlete and a brand.
Let me ask you this.
And a league.
Would you be shocked? Because I wouldn't. This is going real deep on this stuff, speaking of conspiracy. But would you be shocked if Phil Knight and people of Nike were working so close with the NBA?
I mean, would I be like, it's the most ludicrous question you've ever asked, because it's like, we know they are. We know they were. We know they are. The uniforms are Nike. The uniforms have fucking Jordan brand. The fucking, like, what are we talking about here?
I get that, but you know what I mean. I'm talking as far as, hey Nike, we're gonna really, really push this as far as affecting these actual games.
Didn't I just say that happened?
yeah, but like that, like you have all these major players almost setting up a strategy, and Nike is, when it comes to marketing, I would put them like right at the top.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because people don't realize, like, they market to everybody, right? So like when the Kaepernick thing happens and they're going down that route and they're pushing that agenda, and then all the conservatives get all mad. But then for the Army Navy game, they release the special uniforms, right?
100%.
And then that side gets all turned. Like, look at these uniforms. And then they forget about the Kaepernick stuff. And it's like they do it to everybody as far as their marketing strategy.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
And it works well. I mean, I don't know how it was with you as a kid, but when Nike Air became a thing, that's all I cared about, because they were more expensive.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, there's 5 of you kids. Like, you're not all getting the top-notch shoes. So if I can get you a pair of these, like, they're going to be on sale, or we're going to find them at some bargain shop. Like, they turned shoes. If you think about that, if you really want to dumb it down, they turned something you just put on your feet.
I have been playing basketball
into the coolest thing ever.
In my lifetime, only when I broke my knee in 2020 did I stop playing basketball with semi-regularity. I have never worn a single type of basketball shoe that wasn't Nike. Never. I never wore Reebok. I never wore Adidas.
Never wore one. Never had those. Didn't Ewing have Adidas?
Yeah. Never fucked with them. Honestly, and the truth was, and what was amazing is, like, I feel like I wish I could have spoken to Nike, and surprisingly, not surprisingly, but like shockingly, I guess, Kobe was the guy who figured out, like, I used to wear in summer when I would play, like, at the club, like play, at the park, whatever, I'd wear Nike non-basketball shoes because I liked low and mids, and like no one was doing that. But the truth is, like, I wanted a lighter shoe, and Nikes were always lighter than Adidas and always lighter than Reebok. And so I never wore Jordans to play basketball because I'm not a Michael Jordan guy. But it was always, these are the lightest. And then eventually, obviously, Kobe started making the Mambas or whatever they were, that were like the Kobe one. They were like mids. And I was like, I hate Kobe, but I'm wearing these fucking shoes.
You know what I had in the 4th grade? I had a pair of Reebok pumps. That was Shaq, right?
Shaq, I think Shaq did have pumps on his thing, but like the original pump, there was like a couple of original pump like athletes, but I think Shaq came into the league a little bit after, but I believe the Shaq signature shoe, first couple Shaq signature shoes, were also pumps.
Yeah. I remember a
Well,
kid
no,
on my
remember LA, remember
LA Gear.
Karl Malone pushing the LA Gear catapults? They had like a catapult in the heel. And you're like, what?
He catapulted right to a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah.
I remember a kid on my team in the 4th grade. Again, my mom like found a bargain. Like I don't know where she got the pumps, and I was turned. A kid on my team had, I don't know if you ever knew these, and I kind of felt bad for him. He had a pair of Spalding pumps.
Oh man.
Did you know that?
Off-brand pumps.
Did you did you know those even existed? I remember him like going on the free throw line and using the pump. And I remember even as like a 10-year-old boy, I'm like, oh man, this is tough to watch. Like my boy's pumping up his Spalding pumps like they're cool. Oh, this is a good throwback. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I was just about to say that was the original. The original like pump marketing was D Brown pumping up before the dunk contest. He had the black ones with the orange pump ball. He went with the eye cover. That was the original. That was like probably Reebok's like closest moment to like Air Jordan dunking from the free line. I was like D Brown pumping up, then doing the eye cover dunk.
I forgot about that.
Oh yeah.
That was legendary. Dude, the dunk contest used to be so, I'm not saying they're not fun now, but like it was a thing growing up.
Yeah, but also it's like it's so hard to like do it. Like Andy, just imagine you right now as a 41-year-old man sitting down to the NBA dunk contest, and some guy covers his eyes with his elbow. You'd be like, I give you a 4. Get fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then fucking some other guy's like, okay, I'm putting our team mascot on top of a Kia and I'm jumping over it. And you're like, done it. It's lame. Blake Griffin did it 5 years ago. Dude, can you imagine if D Brown pumped up his sneakers and then covered his eye that he was clearly not closing with his elbow and then dunked, and then somebody put on a fucking Superman outfit and jumped over 2 of his teammates? Your head would have exploded.
Yeah, I guess that you're right. They just run out of stuff to do. Well, who won it this year? Who's the white guy who won it this year?
The fucking dude from the Sixers. I forget the guy's name.
That's what I'm saying. We've already forgot. This is my point. We've already forgotten. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I literally have no clue what his name is.
Matt McClung.
Oh, yeah. McClung. I mean, you're going to see him down at Venice Beach not even doing dunks. He'll be playing 3-on-3 because he's already cut. So this is a good segue to this. We're talking marketing. We could talk a little MLB.
Okay.
Because like Major League Baseball has a problem with promoting their young players, promoting their exciting players. Right.
No.
So yesterday, well, obviously like De La Cruz is just like burst onto the scene, right? As far as like across the league, you know. I get lost sometimes here because he's playing for the Reds. So you're like, oh, it's close to home. But he's like a big thing, right? Like he's the real deal across baseball, correct?
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly one of them.
So he has his bat checked yesterday. And then that's in the 2nd inning. Because I guess I wasn't familiar with this. I guess some of these guys, would it be called a sensor?
Yeah, there's some sort of metric sensor
on the knob of their bat to measure some statistics, right? We live in an analytics age. And Dave Martinez, they were playing the Nationals in DC yesterday. He had the umps check the bat. And I guess the sensor's fine, but they removed the casting for the sensor. Anyway, he strikes out that at bat. Next time up in the 5th inning, he goes yard, and I'll show just a quick 10 seconds. He goes yard, and this is what he does. 455-foot home run, and then he points to the knob of the bat. He looks at their dugout, the Nationals dugout, and he's pointing, right? So obviously he's pointing to Dave Martinez. So Dave Martinez yesterday was not happy about that because, you know, he's an old Boomer manager, and he said he didn't like his antics after the home run. And let me bring up his exact quote. He said, what did he say? Sorry, I had it here. I had the thing here. Fuck. Anyway, he basically didn't like it. And then I'm just reading I'm on the Athletic website, and it's just like all these people, the comments are interesting because I saw a comment, and this is so true. Somebody wrote, De La Cruz is why people will watch baseball. Martinez is why people will change the channel.
Well, the response after the fact is where he becomes a fucking boomer idiot. Like, the bottom line is, and I used to say this all the time to my brother, my friends, whatever. I've told the story before about my buddy Tony peeing on the beach and making me stand in it, like tricking me into standing in it. And then I put a lollipop up my ass and I basically fed it to him. And he was just like, dude, you made me eat a lollipop that had been up your asshole. And I was like, yeah, man, you started a war unprovoked. Unprovoked, you started a war. And I finished it. Okay? You bombed Pearl Harbor. I leveled 2 of your cities. Like, Elly De La Cruz, Dave Martinez saying, I didn't like what he did. Elly De La Cruz should have been like, I didn't like what he did. You started it. I finished it.
Well,
I wasn't gonna hit a home run and just point to my bat no matter what. You fucking made me take it off. Now I have tape on the end of my bat because you needed the sensor. Dude, you started it. I finished it. Now it's over. Now you complaining about it? Now you're complaining about how the fight we had ended? Why'd you pick a fight with me?
Well, and here's the full quote. He's still taking digs at him, too.
He's a dork.
He starts off, right, complimentary. I love the way he plays the game. I like his antics. Or, I'm sorry. I love the way he plays the game. I didn't like his antics after he hit the home run. We can do without that. And then this is a total dig. He's only got, which, by the way, is not true. He's been in the league longer. He's only got 2 weeks in the big leagues, but he's going to be a good player.
Yeah, I mean, that's just him being like, he's just saying he's new. But the bottom line is, dude, I understand there's some part of me, again, if I'm the manager of another team and we're playing a kid who's been in the league 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, right? And you throw a pitch and he hits a home run and he pimps it and he does too much, in my opinion, I would understand getting pissed off. Be like, listen, a lot of guys here been here a long time. They've had their ups. They've had their downs. You know, you come into the league, you're hot. No one knows how you play yet. Suddenly they sort out. Again, people were pissed off about Yasiel Puig back in the day. And guess what? It didn't help Yasiel Puig's career. Going forward, people were like, fuck this dude. And then 3 years later, he's pimping home runs in, the Mexican League. So I understand being like, hey, act like you've been there before. Have a little respect for the game. Have a little respect for veterans. Have a little respect for guys that have a lot of success in this league. Have a little respect for guys like me who've been through the league and then had enough success to be a manager. But you start some shit with me, now it's off. Now the fucking gloves are off. I just tried to go up and fucking hit. And you turned it into a whole fucking dog and pony show where things are being pulled off my bat and put on my bat. Now I got to fucking tape my bat. Now instead of going out and playing the field, I got to worry about is the fucking, equipment manager taping my bat in a way that I can still fucking handle. Dude, you started it. I finished it. Get fucked. Take your fucking complaints, shove them up your ass. You never would have had this happen, but you started some shit.
Yeah.
You know me, Andy. I'm the most fucking anti-war, anti-military. Like, dude, I mean, the 4th of July being the day before my birthday is like the ultimate fucking irony, right? So you talk about World War II. Oh my God, we devastated 2 states. Yeah, you guys came and fucking bombed you bombed Pearl Harbor unprovoked. Now we're essentially going to nuke bat flip on you. Like, get fucked. Don't pick a fight if you don't want to be in a fight. You shove a guy, you're going to get punched in the mouth. Whoa, we're hitting in faces now? Bro, what are you talking about? You came out of nowhere. Dave Martinez should have thought about antagonizing one of the great young players to come up this year. Did he think this wasn't going to happen?
Yeah, and but like I do, and that's a thing. That's a problem though with the league. Like I said, that comment, it's true. It's like people want to watch. I would argue someone like this, and even like his build and how he looks, like you're going to attract non-baseball fans, right? Because just watching him play, watching him run, it's like the whole, it's the whole package. Like that's actually exciting to, I would argue, a non-big baseball fan. And then you got Boomer in the dugout being like, yeah, what are you doing? I don't like the way he shows off. It's the same way in basketball, right? Like, I don't care, man. If you hit a three and you run down the court, you hold up the three fingers.
And that's kind of the thing with all the stuff that goes on with marketing and sports and the politics in sports and this pisses these guys off and this pisses those guys off. The NBA just keeps growing, keeps making more money, keeps having bigger TV deals, keeps having bigger shoe contracts, keeps having higher salary caps, it just keeps growing. NBA, again, LeBron James' Instagram following is bigger than every Major League Baseball player, right? Like, because they go, we don't give a shit about you boomers saying, well, you don't play defense anymore. Get fucked. You're going to be dead in 20 years. We don't give a fuck about you. What does LeBron James think about China? Scream it in your coffin, you old boomer bitch. No one gives a fuck about you. Meanwhile, baseball's like, oh, shoot, I don't know how I feel about marketing guys who speak a different language. It might antagonize some of the fucking old white assholes who fucking don't come to baseball games. They're so fucking worried about catering to these people who are dead dinosaur fucks that don't even know how to watch shit on streaming. Oh, look at NBA ratings. Motherfucker, the whole world watched it on Reddit. The fact that you're talking about TV ratings just shows you're a dumbass boomer. Major League Baseball is like, what about our ratings? We should have a pitch clock. The old guys think it's too fucking slow. Like, no one gives a fuck, dude. Baseball is the ultimate fucking, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Take that highlight and put it on fucking every social media right now. And at MLB's fucking thing on Twitter and TikTok and Threads, and all of them should be Elly De La Cruz tells Dave Martinez to get fucked, hits 453-foot homer. The shit would get retweeted and rethread and reposted to the fucking moon. But they're like, oh, well, what if it pisses off Dan Jenkins, 60-year-old man in Ohio who's still reading box scores in the newspaper with a fucking magnifying glass? Stop catering to old dipshits who don't spend money and will be dead soon.
Bro, I swear to God, I used to work with a guy named Dan Jenkins.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
He's probably like 60 right now. That's hilarious. Well, I was thinking about the NFL when you were going on that rant. Remember, for a while, like, the NFL has literally completely swung the other way. Probably 15, 16 years ago, there was
no fun league.
The no fun league, and they had outlawed touchdown celebrations. And again, now it's swung the other way. You get an interception, and they do a full choreograph.
And now they're widowy doing the gwitty in the end zone.
Dude, you have an interception in the first quarter, and they're doing a choreographed.
They're like, here they go, running over to the Applebee's turnover cam.
Well,
for the team photo.
Doing a Backstreet Boys choreographed dance.
Start the choreography clock. The team only has 25 seconds to get all 52 members of the team down to the end zone to pose for a picture.
Like, that's crazy to think. The NFL banned celebrations. I remember that. I was living in Las Vegas at the time. It was like 2005, 2006.
Every team has a Nick D'Alessandro in the end zone. He's like, all right, hold still. We're doing a panorama.
Meanwhile, baseball's like, no, you can't do any of it. No celebrations.
If you really love the game, you listen on the radio.
Baseball's
you hear the sounds.
Baseball's funny because they're stuck in those boomer ways, like on the field. But then within the stadium, it's nothing but antics.
And always has been.
Right, kiss cam and find the hidden hot dog in section 108. You're just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, it's all zany and fun. But when it comes on the field, you have to be just so serious.
Yeah. And the only time that they do anything like that, the only time they fucking have forward thinking, it's like the detriment of the fan and the fan alone, right? It's like, let's put up nets so that people fucking Instagramming don't fucking break their teeth. Like, dude, just leave the fucking game alone and let all the players play and do the thing. And again, the policing of baseball, it has always happened on its own.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that Elly De La Cruz should get up and hit a home run and in the first time ever pimp it like if you hit a home run in your first at bat as a major leaguer, you're for sure going to the Hall of Fame. There are probably dozens of guys. There's probably dozens of guys who hit a home run in their first game as a major leaguer that don't have 100 big league home runs. Like, you don't really want to antagonize the other team. But at the same time, like I said, you come at me, bro. Now we're doing a thing.
Yeah.
Dave Martinez doesn't like that he picked a fight and then got punched in the mouth.
I mean, let's not forget, guys, baseball used to not allow you to share their content. Like that.
Does baseball allow you to share their content?
Yeah, you can now.
You can?
I'm pretty sure. That's insane. So all the other leagues were like, hey, you just filmed a clip from our game and you're going to put it on Twitter and you're going to put it on Instagram and everybody's going to share it. Oh, wait, that's just free press for our product. Our product is this game. Baseball would literally, not that long ago, especially on Twitter, they'd hit you up with the copyright infringement and the video would disappear or you get dinged a strike. Think about that. That's how backwards baseball was being run. Hey, do we want maybe this gangbuster viral video to be seen by 1 million people for $0? We didn't put $1 into our marketing. No, you don't own that. We don't want the 1 million people to see that.
So where do people watch it? Well, they're going to have, like, Dan Jenkins is going to have to figure out how to go on his desktop to MLB.TV/videos/Reds if he wants to see that home run.
Well, dude, here's the thing.
Jesus Christ, my dad couldn't even figure out how to play solitaire on the computer.
Yeah, well, it is interesting. So I was at my brother's yesterday and his wife was like, I want to watch the Reds game. They're like, she obviously knows they're winning. Like, I want to put on the Reds game. And like, she didn't understand. My brother's like, you can't watch it. She's like, why? It's like, because we have YouTube TV and Bally's isn't on that. We would have to get the local Cincinnati Bell, which is now Fi Optics. We'd have to get the Alta Fiber. We'd have to get that brand. And like, she didn't understand that. It's like, well, I can watch all the other stuff. It's like, yeah, I was trying to explain to her, that's baseball in a nutshell.
I mean, I'm not to throw my my manager, who often listens to our show and watches it live, under the bus, but like, we were at 4th of July and she's like, how is YouTube TV with the NFL ticket going to work? And I'm like, I don't even understand your question. It's just going to, like, that's just where it is. She's like, but how will I watch it? I'm like, you just got to get YouTube TV if you want the NFL ticket. She's like, but I usually go with 3 screens. I'm like, you will be able to. they'll just all be streaming.
And you should have told her they're, I don't know if you know, that was them testing it out during March Madness, and they also did during the NBA playoffs, the split screen.
Yeah.
So you're on one TV. Wait until she hears this. On one TV, you on your own device can split 4 games. So hypothetically, if you had your 3 TVs, you watch 12 games at once.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I just read, related to that, I just read, that Twitter feed I told you I love about movies.
Yeah.
They just did one on Airplane.
Oh, nice.
Like a 39-part thread on the movie Airplane. And I'm reading this. I'm like, how much of this is accurate?
Right. Yeah. We need David Zucker to be like, this is a great thread. It's all fake.
One of the things was, they didn't do Airplane 2.
Right.
And that those guys claim they've never watched it. All 3 of them, who did Airplane, the original, said none of them have watched it.
Wow.
And it's interesting, like, according to this thread, again, who knows where they get this from? Like, as far as to play, who's the main character? Ted Stryker?
Yeah.
Like Chevy Chase, Bill Murray. Like, it would have been completely different. But they did say the Pete Rose thing that David Zucker told us on this podcast, how they initially wanted Pete Rose instead of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the pilot. Which, hey,
I imagine it would have drawn a couple of different people, and they're like, I'm not going to watch it with one of these NBA guys with all the hip hooping, hopping, and hooping. Give me a Pete Rose with his weird bowl cut. That's what I need. Good old American in there. Like, dude, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is American.
Shout out to Pete. Shout out to Kyle Aronofsky, the Gold Star Chili
Pete Rose
throwback.
glass?
Pete Rose glass. Come full circle with that. Speaking of coming full circle, so you're rocking the Miller Lite shirt today.
Miller Lite, the Light Beer Athletic Club. I rocked all yesterday and the 4th. I was also rocking our waterproof Miller Lite hat by the pool.
Oh, so that's waterproof.
Oh, yeah. It's basically like an umbrella. I don't know what fabric that is, but it's clearly waterproof.
So July 4th, your birthday.
Poolside.
You definitely been giving Miller Lite some love.
Brought some Miller Lights over to Andy Laz's place on the 4th. Smuggled some Miller Lights into a rooftop pool in Hollywood yesterday.
Well, if they were smart, they would just have it. Come on.
They would.
Get with
You're
the
absolutely
times.
right. You're absolutely right.
No better thing than having a cold Miller Lite poolside during a summer day,
Absolutely.
Like, that's got to be on your top 3 list.
It's the best.
As far
and like I said earlier in the show, the layers of which, like, the Miller Lite is the fabric of my life. Like, I do this podcast. We're presented by Miller Lite. Our fans enjoy it. Next thing you know, Venmos come through specifically for Miller Lite from the fans of this show. I go to the store. I purchase Miller Lite with Venmos from our fans, and then I drink Miller. It's just like, it is the fabric of my life. I'm wearing the hat to keep out of the sun.
Would you call it the circle of light?
Circle of light. It's the circle of light.
Well, guys, with a Miller Lite in your hand, summer doesn't just taste great. It tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, just visit MillerLite.com/dirty sports, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. I feel like we need a Joe Praino song remix with the Circle of Light. Just rehash the Elton John lyrics.
Yeah. Andy, I've got a couple of, the pint bottles of Miller Lite, the little, like the 16 ounces. Got 3 of those getting cold in the fridge right now. They're going to go right into the cooler pocket of my minimal golf bag this afternoon for a twilight round. Cracking open a 4 o'clock Miller Lite on the golf course today, July 6th, basically the 5th day of my weekend. Glorious.
How often are you golfing now?
I'd say at least twice a week.
What are we playing with these days?
What are we playing with?
Like,
how we playing?
Yeah, what are we shooting?
So I use this app called the Grint, and it keeps my handicap and everything. And I played with Tug on Monday and had a disaster round. But we're now at the point where my disaster round, I shot a 94. But it was a disaster. I could not. It was the worst round I played in a while. And the Grint, prior to that, I was on what they called a hot streak, where so your handicap is calculated by taking your 8 best scores of your last 20 rounds. So they take your 8 best. And my last 3 rounds before that were my hot streak because they all qualified. My last 3 rounds before that all qualified as part of my 8 best. Last round I played with Tug on Monday, 94, did not qualify. The Grant literally spit in my face as I uploaded it at the end. They said, your hot streak is over. The guy gave me like 2 thumbs down, and I was like, oh, that feels extra worse.
Tug's a good golfer, though, right? Because he's a good athlete.
Tug can play. I also learned a lot about Tug the other day. Tug was like, yeah, when I went to Wake Forest golf camp, I was like, this kid went to Wake Forest golf camp as a child.
That's a cheat.
Like, honestly, Tug hovering at like a 7 handicap. Like, he should be better. Tug is an athlete.
Yeah.
Big guy. Good golf swing. He should be. He went to Wake Forest golf camp as a kid. Again, as I've said before, I believe he was conceived in a sand trap. Tug should be better than a 7.
Well,
Tug, very good player. But he was even saying this. He's like, I could play scratch golf. He's like, it's always like right there. And I'm like, well, you got a couple kids. Can't get out here every day.
What's worse, or what should be improved sooner, his golf game or his audio equipment for podcasts? Tug. They still have a restaurant in Santa Monica?
He does. Esther's Wine Bar.
He's still doing Esther's, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Ship me some food, Tug. I'm sure that wouldn't be pricey. Ship me some food from California.
Honestly, it's great. I've been to Esther's a number of times. If you're ever in Los Angeles, specifically Santa Monica, go to Esther's. Good charcuterie boards, good cheese selections. Obviously, all to be paired with a great wine selection.
The whiteness that this discussion is.
Yeah.
Charcuterie boards, cheese, wine, golf.
Last time I was there, though, shout out to Tug. He was like, I almost packed a Miller Lite for you that I was just going to serve you with your charcuterie board. I was like, that would have been epic.
That would have been boss.
Yeah.
That would have been pretty funny. So if you're shooting, 94 is bad for you now.
I'm a high 80s golfer. I'd like to break 85.
I'm just asking because as someone who doesn't play golf, I'm just curious. Like, it's taking you a few. Like, how many strokes do you think you've cut off?
Oh, I mean, dude, I shot 114 at Pebble Beach.
Okay, now it's about
Pebble Beach is hard.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking Pebble Beach, man.
Yeah, but. I've also played winged foot recently and shot in the low 90s. So I don't know, 15 strokes. Then it's also like, listen, we play a lot of games. Like we gamble. I played with Laz the other day. We're gambling. You know, sometimes you got this putt's a gimme and this is that and blah, blah, blah. But like, you know, a good day for me is in the 80s. And I feel like if I didn't have the physical limitations on the front side, I feel like it could be. But I'm fighting through that. I've it's crazy, but now it's like the whole swing your swing thing. Like I've gotten to the point now where I'm just like I've reached a level of golf consciousness where I'm like, oh, I've learned enough about this game to now know how I have to adjust for my own physical limitations.
What's swing your swing? I've never heard that.
Like just like don't try to like everybody swing, like do it your way, figure out how to make it work for you. You know, the idea like you're not going to be a professional golfer. Don't try like, yeah, it's helpful if your golf swing looks like Tiger Woods or whatever, but you got to like find what works for you to some degree.
Yeah. So like how far are you driving?
When I mean, that's kind of the thing too. But like if I hit it straight, it goes a long way.
Again, just like make it 12 holes and you can get me into golf.
Yeah.
18.
That's what Dennis Gubbins always says too. He's always like, you get bored. Meanwhile, I'm like, well, I could play 27.
18's a lot. Like if you had me at 12, if you were like golf's 12 holes, even 14. But like make it an even dozen. Just say 12 holes.
I mean, you can go out and play 9.
But see, then I feel like 9's too short.
Well, leave you wanting more.
I don't know. I'm not gonna get into golf anytime soon.
Today, what I've been doing lately is getting up early and playing the back 9. You can a lot of the LA municipal courses. You can play the back 9, but you got to tee off before. You have to tee off by 6:30. So I've been doing those, and then today we're playing the Twilight. So we might not get through 18. You know, we might play 15 or 16 holes.
I have no. You keep saying that. What is Twilight? Just like sunset?
Like, yeah. I mean, golf takes 4+ hours, especially on a municipal course where it's like backed up and shit. We're going to tee off, I think, at 4:20. So I think sunset here is 8:15, 8:20 or something like that.
Shame you don't have that quality of life.
I know. It's too bad I'm not in Ohio. I can tee off at 6:45. Come into the clubhouse at 10:45. We might go for a late run with my baby.
You know, we got somebody referenced that in a call. Let's get to a couple calls. 310-359-8365. That is our hotline. Give us a ring. Everything is on the table. Sports, non-sports, personal questions, you guys name it. All right. So this one I just referenced. He references quality of life at the end because he is an Ohio resident. Coming at me right now.
Boys, this is Jordan, #1 Putnam County, Ohio DirtBall. This call is for Bandy Andy. I gotta say, I just about drove my car off the damn road when I heard Andy say that the Browns were going to win the division this year. Just cursing the Browns before the season even starts. Just guaranteed that there won't be a happy ending to Deshaun's season this year. Unbelievable. We're the Browns. We do not need any more curses, Andy. I just finally started watching the Reds again after they've been disappointing for many years. Andy, we don't need you cursing them too. Just don't even think about the Reds. Don't talk about the Reds.
Too late.
Nothing. We don't need any curses for them. Anyway, condoms are for Praino, trying to take away the little bit of quality of life we have and saying some bullshit about us being in the central time zone. We're staying in the eastern. Quality of life.
Well, here you go. I said I wasn't going to wear it. My girlfriend got me this last year. And I said, I can't wear it. When they suck, I can't wear this shirt until the Reds are actually good. No lie. It's been sitting in my drawer for over a year.
You just cursed them again. So you're telling me you're back on the bandwagon. Cincinnati strength is this weird fucking. Dude looks like Joey Swole.
Yeah, man. It's Mr. Red all on steroids. So a few things I'd like to address. Again, it's classic dirtball's not listening. Never once did I say they're winning the division. Like never once. In fact, I'm not going to pick the Browns to win the division. I
Also,
said,
how is somebody a Reds
I know.
Browns fan?
It's interesting because he's up in the Cleveland area because he said Putnam. So like, yeah, he's in Cleveland territory. So I don't know why he's not Guardians Browns. That's a whole other discussion. But I didn't say they win the division. I'm not picking the Browns to win the division. I said last episode, I think they win 10 games and make the playoffs. That's all I said. I didn't say they win the division. I think the Bengals still win the division.
This is an easy segue into we're going to do a shout out for a friend of the show. Did you see the news? Did Randy message you about his news?
No.
Our boy Randy Ruther, aka Justin Wood, is starting his own Bengals podcast, Justin in the Jungle.
I love it.
A twice a week Bengals podcast. And he said what he's going to do is he's going to like recap the games and then do a preview for every game with a fan of the other team. And the question for me is,
Oh, I like that. That's a good idea.
and the question for me is, how many episodes can Andy Ruther appear on as a fan of the other team? Do they play the Rams,
They play the Rams.
Seahawks, Broncos, and Patriots this year? That's at least 4 appearances you can make if they were on the schedule.
They play the Rams and the Seahawks this year.
Okay.
Rams is at home Monday Night Football.
So you can come on at least 2 episodes as a fan of the other team.
I don't appreciate that diss. So, first of all, good luck to you, Randy. That's great. I like that premise. Justin in the Jungle.
Yeah.
He's reverting back to his legal name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, the second part of the call, I'm following like I said, I can't watch them. I'm following the box score. I mean, there's only so much you can do. You can see highlights.
By the way, I've pulled up the Bengals schedule here. So you can appear on Justin in the Jungle week 1 as a fan of the Browns, as you just talked about.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Week 3 as a Rams fan. Week 6 as a Seahawks fan. This is great. And then again in week 18 as a Browns fan. I'm not going to let you be on as a Chiefs fan.
I'm shocked you didn't
or
say
as
Bills,
a Niners fan.
because I was like,
or
big,
as a Bills fan, yeah.
Because I'm big Josh Allen guy too.
Yeah.
I can't.
No, come on. I'm not going to stretch. I'm keeping it realistic. You only have like 5 sports fandoms in the NFL.
No. Again, Patriots. I'm a Brady guy. I love Brady. I love Belichick. I love what they do. Like, I just love the whole. They're the model franchise, in my opinion. The Patriots. Doesn't mean I'm like die hard. I'm not like standing for them. I mean, for you to say I'm standing for the Browns now is ridiculous. All I said was I think the Browns win 10 games. I think the Browns win 10 games. And I said I think Deshaun Watson has a bounce back year.
Well, last year he was like knockoff Jacoby Brissoli. So yeah, I think he has a bounce back year.
But like all the terrible shit that he's connected to, it's going to be water under the bridge. That's how our society works.
Cleveland fans don't give a fuck, dude.
Well, Cleveland fans have never given a fuck.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in general, like, I don't know if you remember when he came back and the booing and just the signs. I just think like our society,
listen.
Our society just forgets, man.
We've come full circle. Make sure everybody goes out and buys Kobe 2K24 Mamba Mentality Killer Instinct Mamba Instinct edition.
Exactly. That's my point. Like, Ben Roethlisberger was connected to multiple sexual assaults. And now he's like, I found Jesus. Which, by the way, is the best get out of jail free card.
Of course, it always is.
You just are like, hey, found Jesus. We're good. Okay, here's another call for me. This one is regarding Isla's daycare. This is pretty funny. Made me laugh.
What's going on, boys? Calling back once again from beautiful Toms River, New Jersey, home of the 1998 Little League World Series champions. I need some more information on this 3-month-old daycare situation. I don't have kids, but I thought that daycare didn't start until you could at least walk and talk. I mean, 3 months, 4 months. What do you even do? You just put her in the corner in a basket or whatever, and you say she's doing good. Like what does that entail? Doing good at that age? And Andy, I don't want to say you don't work, but at a minimum, you work limited hours from home. Why don't you do the daycare? Why don't you just put her in the corner in your room? I'm just curious how it works. I never heard of a 3-4 month old in daycare. Give me some information here. What's the day at the daycare facility for Isla? How's this operate? That's it. Condoms are for Chase Utley.
Well, you got some great questions.
Can I just say before you answer, because I do want to answer that, I've known Kyle Aronofsky for a long time. We've been having his calls for a long time. I've met him many times in person. I feel like he just recently turned the corner, at least in his phone calls, of becoming a full-on, like, Jersey Sopranos character in his calls. He's like, what's going on at fucking daycare? What happens in daycare? This is the fucking kids in fucking tanks like they fish at the fucking pet store. You just got fucking kids on shelves in fucking bassinets. The fuck? I need an idea what's going on over there.
You put it the best, because I was wondering when he called. I was like, he sounds a little different.
Yeah.
What sounds different about Kyle? So
he reaches pork roll, egg and cheese quota. He's now sufficiently full of pork roll. When you eat like 40 pounds of pork roll, you just turn into like a Sopranos extra. You fucking kid. Just in daycare.
So you know what's funny? Dude, you know what's funny, Kyle? Like your questions and how you're acting was literally me in January. That's what's so funny. Like there's no disrespect my way, because I was you in January, man. It's July. So the plan all along was, dude, I can watch her. Like, yeah, I got some work stuff, and I got some other work stuff outside of Dirty Sports. I can watch her. How hard can it be? I was literally you. And Brittany and her mom are like, you have no fucking clue. Like, and I was like, well, I'll just get her on a schedule. Like, in my head, it was easy. Just get her on a schedule, and she'll take naps at this point.
Answer the question, Andy. What is this kid doing at daycare?
Well, I'm getting to that. So I learned early on.
You told us last episode the kid can't roll over onto her stomach.
Well, here's the thing about babies, guys. They're unpredictable. Any parent will tell you this. Like, you think, oh, I'm going to get on this schedule, quote unquote. Babies lose their shit if anything is wrong. So the whole idea of you'll be on this nap schedule and this and that. What happens, like right now, Isla's had a constipation literally for a few days. And you talk to the doctors. Well, there's not much we can do. Give it, like, where if anything is wrong with them, they cry and they go crazy. So you're like, oh, well, you can just watch her, right? Well, no, she's going nuts all day. And I'm not saying she is. She's a pretty good kid. But like the notion that you have to, like, that it's like she's got to be held. Like, she's one of those babies that's got to be held. Right? This is what's going on at daycare. I just pulled up an app. First of all, there's this app called Tadpoles, which is amazing. I have full access on her nap schedule, when she's been fed, when her diaper's been changed. Literally, I can just look at this, like right now. Oh, she slept for 30 minutes from 9:15 to 9:45. She slept for 20.
This is what, at daycare?
This is at daycare.
Okay.
They give you full access. So daycare, they strictly feed them every 3 hours, which is what doctors, pediatricians
But what is this
recommend.
kid doing when she's not at daycare napping? Somebody's just holding her.
Oh, well, she's not napping?
Yeah.
So she's in a room. I can pull. I have camera access, which is pretty crazy. So she's at a room. I can't see what she's doing now, but like, so she's in a room with anywhere from 6 to 7 other babies. And there's 2 to 3 workers in there. She's in everything from a swing to quote unquote playtime. They have something called tummy time where they're, trying to stretch their muscles and things to play with. Some days I walk in there and first of all, I have so much respect for these workers because some days you walk in there and literally 6 babies might just be crying at the same time.
Right.
And you're like, fuck, this is not easy.
So basically daycare is just women who can put up with 6 crying babies so that the parents don't have to put up with a 1 crying baby.
Yeah, basically. But here's what's crazy. She is better behaved at daycare than she is with us. I know that for a fact now.
But like all right. Because I have questions too.
Yeah, go for it.
Let's say you have Isla for the day, right?
Which I do. So like every other weekend, just prime example to cut you off and then you can go with the question. Brittany works every other week. Like her schedule as a pharmacist is basically like healthcare industry. She works every other weekend. So I have her full day and night every other.
So when she's not napping, you got her in like a little thing. You're walking her in the like
lots of walks. But here's the thing, dude.
Like don't kids just like lay down and then they like put the fucking thing above them and they like swing, they like smack at it and shit and like
maybe for 10 minutes. All kids are different. So like Coco Melon is a great like, hey, can I fill time? I'm gonna put her in this thing called a baby born, and she'll watch Coco Melon 15 minutes tops, and then she starts fussing, and then it's like, yo, dad, I want to do something else. Again,
so if she's at daycare and there's multiple kids at daycare, these women can't, or men, I don't know if there's men there. Women,
it's all
whatever.
women.
Yeah. These women can't like all be carrying babies.
No, they're not. That's what I'm saying.
They just have racks of babies? Is it just like babies in little seats, like just racked up against the wall? Like
no. So if you walked in, there's like
are they just like waitresses and these babies are just like sitting in little racks at tables and they come around? Who needs water? Who needs more bread?
So it's all so organized. So like every baby has their own bed. Everything has to be labeled. And there's like all this legal stuff too.
It's basically baby concentration camp.
Well, that's the joke I always make. I always like say, how was your day at prison?
Yeah.
But she loves it. So they're, they have tons of stuff that they can play with. But again, like Isla can't sit up, right? Like he's asking, dude, what do you? She can't even sit upright. So she has to be in something to keep her upright, or if she's sleeping, on her back. So the question is, there's only 2 or 3 of them, and there's 8 babies. They're just going from baby to baby, and then also so feeding usually takes 20 to 30 minutes, and most babies typically have to be upright after they eat for 30 minutes or they spit up everywhere.
Sure.
So like feeding in itself is like an hour process, and you got to feed every 3 hours. She literally, she doesn't get her food after 3 hours, will go ape shit.
Hangry.
No, dude, I always call her a Venice Beach crackhead. Like she woke up this morning at 6:30 and was like, yo, motherfucker, feed me. And you got to change them first, right? Her diaper's full because she's been sleeping. Going nut. Like I can't try changing. I don't know if you've ever had to do this. Try to change a diaper of a 4-month-old kicking and screaming and crying. You're like, this is fucking impossible. Like, what are you doing? Just put your legs down for a minute so I can put the diaper on you. And then I'll give you your hit, your fix, your heroin, whatever you want to call it. So that's what these women, bless their heart, have to deal with. Every single day, I'm that dad who just always is in there like making jokes. And like, I think they probably think I'm definitely the dad of like, they're like, what's this guy's deal?
Yeah. They're like, he doesn't seem to be doing anything. Why can't he raise his own kid? He's just in here cracking jokes.
But like, that's the thing. Like
he's always coming in with chili. It's really weird.
You can't like, I need to cut my grass, right? I need to like what, you can't just like leave the kid inside.
You don't just like put like those baby headphones on, like Drew Brees' kid at the Super Bowl, and you put the kid in the baby born and ride around the mower with her? She wouldn't love that?
She might. It's too hot though, right?
I don't know.
It's like 85 degrees and humid. And that's a whole thing. I mean, I don't know. I'm learning.
I just
man.
love that basically your answer for what's happening at daycare is like, oh, there's women who can handle raising 6 of these kids, so they do it because I can't handle raising the one.
Well, again, like, I'm definitely like our generation. I always joke, like, my mom had 5 boys within 11 years. Like, I'm a pussy, and I know that. But again, like, if you were on a call or you had emails, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like, guys, what's Isla doing while I'm podcasting?
Yeah.
And then she goes crazy. And then when she goes crazy, that always induces vomit. So it's like, it's this weird cycle.
How old is she now?
She's 4.5 months. Which, the funniest part, my nephew, I go over to my brother's like once or twice a week. My nephew, who's 6. Every time I go over there, he literally will ask this every time. He did it again yesterday. He goes, "Can she walk yet?" I'm like, "Yo, dude, like, she can't even sit upright." I always tell him, if I put her upright, she would fall right in her face. And he always says, "Can we watch?" I'm like, "No, we're not going to do that because that might hurt her. I'm not just going to put her down. Hey, you want to watch her just fall face first?" Yeah, no, but these women, Praino, they're bosses, dude. Because you know what they tell me? They all say the same thing. They go, the kids don't adjust because then the kids get thrown off on the weekends because they're not on that schedule. The women all say most of these kids don't adjust until Wednesday. So they come in Monday, they adjust Wednesday, right? Then there's Friday, and it's like,
it's basically my week.
Yeah.
It's basically my holiday week. It's like, thank you, TGI Friday right now.
Yeah. That's why I do so many walks, because that calms her down. I'll be like, fuck, I don't want to walk her again. But, dude, what am I going to do? Just throw in that stroller and just.
You just need to get some sort. You ever seen like people riding on elephants? Like one of those elephant trips. You just need to put one on Roscoe. Let Roscoe walk around town.
I wish.
Like she's
his little fat ass.
Indian princess.
His little fat ass won't be able to handle that. She's gonna weigh as much as him pretty soon. You throw in that.
Hey, Kyle, does that answer your fucking question? Eh?
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what, Kyle. You're still young. Like, it's good. If you spend a week with me, it'd be good birth control. You'd be like, fuck this, man. But it's like remember that old saying? Within the gay community, it gets better. Yeah. Remember that big yeah,
of course.
It does. At the first 3 months are rough, it's already like, oh, I can put you in something. But big news today, and then we'll wrap this up. A swing is coming. So I ordered a swing.
Oh, okay.
See,
this is why you get married. This is why you have like a fucking baby shower, shit like that. So you get all the shit. You should have had a swing months ago.
No, we had a baby shower, and everything came in clutch. I didn't even talk to you about the baby Brezza. That's a whole other discussion.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a Keurig, but for baby formula.
Oh yeah, I know about that,
bro.
Yeah.
I don't know if your sister or any of your friends. Yeah. Best invention ever. Okay. That concludes Daddy Hour with Andy. 310-359-8365. That's the hotline. If you do want to watch my amazing Papa Shot skills, I did do a split screen of Isla watching me play. Humble brag. My skills are pretty good, Praino, at this point.
What's the record down there?
I think it's 132.
I was gonna say, I think you were in the 120s the last time I was there. This is like my golf game.
The problem is if somebody unplugs it, which will happen at times, the quote unquote the high score is lost. But anyway, guys, we're on Threads. I made that happen before the show started, for the record.
What? You had Dirty Sports on Threads?
Yeah, I had to Google. I'm like, how do I add another account? So we're on Threads. We're on also, at this point, Dirty Sports is on TikTok, Threads, Twitter, Instagram, all of them. But here's the catcher. Did you know
Not
this?
Snapchat.
Not Snapchat. Did you know this? You can't delete your threads unless you delete your Instagram.
I did see that. I saw somebody say blood in, blood out today.
Yeah, I saw some funny meme. Those were the funny memes I saw of like Zuckerberg's like, it's like the car salesman, like, yeah, throwing the tires.
Yeah.
You got to buy the whole car.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're on all of them. Look at me. I am on all of them.
I know you are, Andy. I'm proud of you. I'm at Joe Praino on all the things. Follow me there. Got some shows coming up. We'll be in Palm Springs at Agua Caliente in a couple weeks. I believe that's July 21st. Got some shows coming up in and around Los Angeles. So if you're a local here, go to joepraino.com/shows. End of July, back to New York for more shows in and around New York City. And then August 4th and 5th, Atlantic City Comedy Club. It's at the Claridge in Atlantic City, New Jersey. So if you're down to shore with Kyle Arnafsky, come on out. And then after that, I'll be in Colorado. Shows in Boulder, Denver, and Steamboat. All those, joepraino.com/shows. Or follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, at Joe Praino. And I always post about my shows there. I've already posted the Taylor Swift clip on Threads. I was like, let's get shadow banned let's get shadow banned day one.
It's a bold move, Cotton.
I know. I said share it or else the terrorists, aka Swifties, win.
Bro. There is no one like them.
I know.
No one. It's insane.
I got one of these too, Andy, after a show.
Did you?
Yeah. Gave me a fuck the patriarchy bracelet.
That's gonna be the first $1 billion tour.
Yeah.
$1 billion one music tour.
Did you see the thing I posted the other day? She's making $13 million per show. And she's had like 200 tickets in New York about not keeping her sidewalk outside her building clean.
And she makes $13 million.
Just hire somebody to fucking clean your sidewalk, you rich bitch.
You just got canceled. Well, sorry, man. They just booted you from Threads.
Yeah.
Shadow banned instantly. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday. And as always, stay dirty.